funny story about printers. I have a Lexmark. I have to start up a virtual machine to print, so that's always fun. All right, so like Sean said, my name is Kelin. I'm with Infusion Development. I work in Tulsa. We actually have offices quite spread out, but I work mostly remotely with some travel. Email address and blogs down there, and we're going to talk about just the Telerik controls and some of the ASPO stuff. Chris had asked me to present on this. I had used it in a project in the spring and found it really useful. So before we dive into the Telerik controls, let's talk a little bit just about user experience, mainly because most of the Telerik controls are geared toward that kind of wow factor, that UI, that rich user experience. And so, you know, for your typical line of business application developer, we now have, you know, things like Gmail and Facebook and Outlook Online. And so users now have a certain level of expectation that we have to meet for web applications. So that, you know, they've raised the bar now. And, you know, of course, the better the design of the app is, the easier it is for the user to use, less training costs, they're more efficient, so it saves the company money. However, as I found, even though it saves the company money and there's all these great benefits, they don't really want to pay for it. You know, if they're going to bring in an outside firm, they will. If they're doing a public-facing site, they will. But if they just want you to write an HR app for, you know, adding new employees, they want you to do it the same amount that you did it 2 years ago, the same amount of time. So what are you guys supposed to do? So that's where things like Telerik come in. They offer a whole suite of different controls, suites, I guess, of controls that are drag and droppable, that are very similar to the .NET controls. So you really don't have to learn a lot more, just kind of some more properties. But they give you that rich UI experience, a lot of Ajax-y, Web 2.0 type stuff, you know, drag and dropping, no postbacks, that type of stuff. So here's kind of an outline of the products they offer, and I think I have them all. So ASP.NET, Ajax, Silverlight, WPF, and WinForms. They have a reporting suite. They have an ORM tool. They actually have a content management system now, and they have some web testing tools. So these are the ones that we're going to cover tonight. How much time do I have? 10, 20 minutes?
You're fine, yeah.
Okay. So yeah, these are what we're going to cover tonight. I use the Ajax tools a lot, so I figured we'd definitely go through those. And those are the ones, if you're a .NET programmer or an ASP.NET programmer, that you're going to use the most. And then we'll touch on the ORM, the web testing, and then I'll show you the CMS as well. So for the ASP.NET Ajax, I think it's about $1,000 bucks, but it's a suite of controls for a developer license. And it's a suite of controls, and this is a list of what you get. And you can actually put these things together to build your UI. But obviously the first one, that rad grid, is the one that you would heavily use the most. You know, for example, hierarchical data. So you have a customer and order relationship, and they want to see that both on the same screen. So they want to click on the customer and expand and see all their orders. With what you have in just .NET, that's pretty difficult to do. But the rad grid makes that pretty easy. So I'm not going to read all those to you. We'll just I'll highlight a few of those when I demo. Yeah, which we do now. And I broke this like 5 minutes ago. But I just broke the designer. So this looks similar to what you're going to see in a .NET grid, right? So we just have this, and then we define we set the properties, and then we can auto-generate the columns, or we can, we have a columns collection here. And this master view table is kind of the node that allows you to have that parent-child relationship. And then let's run this. I'll give you an idea of what it looks like, and then I'll show you a little more of what I did. So this is just a big table of data. We have the product ID and the name. The cool thing about this, out of the box with no JavaScript for me, but you can usually change the order. But you can do sorting on this. So you can sort by any of these columns. And it's all Ajax on the fly. The customer we had in the spring loved this feature. You could pretty much type in select starts with. And it's going to now filter down our list by that. So I mean, if you look at all those options there, and that's no code on my part. Right, and no filter. All right. All right. So on the back end, I just used Entity Framework and created this data model, and I'm just binding directly to that. Yeah, so I mean, it's an AdventureWorks database on the back end. I created a view of the products with some particular properties, and then we just bind, we create the data model, and then we're just binding directly to that. So, and there's no code behind. This is some image stuff that I was trying to do, but that's the code to bind that. So.
Buy install is typical.
What?
Binds to pretty much anything a normal grid would bind.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, directly to SQL tables, XML documents, objects. Yeah. So we all know how to do that.
And I think that the ASP.NET suite by itself is like $6.99, and like $13.99 gets you the whole caboodle.
I looked right before I came. It was $12.99 for the whole thing.
Okay.
And $9.99, but
There you go. Yeah.
then
So
again, you call them up, they're probably gonna, help you out anyway.
Yeah.
I think we got it cheaper than that because we needed more than one developer license. So.
mhm.
Yeah.
Do they charge for like server license or anything like that, or is it just the developer license?
Just developer license. Yeah. So this is actually run locally out of Visual Studio. So you get all this code when you buy the product or download the trial. So if we were to look at the docking example, you could actually set a breakpoint, Yeah, so again, I mean, that's nothing, you got jQuery that does that and a lot of other things, SharePoint. But for, I don't have to write any JavaScript, and it's just a control I drop on a rad doc. So, they have a calendar control. Check out some of the hierarchical grid.